What's going on, Who Dat Nation? Before we dive into the mailbag and live Q&A where I'm answering your questions and responding to y'all's hot takes, I encourage you to give me a follow on social media. Over on X, I'm trying to get to 2,200 followers pretty soon. I'm also trying to do some spaces where we can interact in real time. It's a lot like sports talk radio, but we both get to have the conversation. So if you want to be a part of those, give me a follow on Twitter. And on Instagram, I made myself a new profile to have Saint-specific content. My IG was originally just personal and just kind of about my life, but I wanted to give you guys some Saints content. So I just had 100 followers. I just crossed that threshold. So if you want to be a part of the elite club and the first 200 people to follow me, there it is. The handle's on the screen. They're also in the comment section description of the video. So Christopher, let's kick it off with you. Do you think Fuaga will be a long-term left tackle like how Jordan Gross was for the Panthers? I'm going to say no. I think he's a right tackle. And he does have the positional versatility to play as a guard and play as a left tackle. He can play kind of anywhere outside of center, and honestly, he could probably even do that. But I think that with a player like Fuaga, do not overthink him. Do not try and reinvent the wheel. Put him on the field at his position of strength and just ask him to dominate. Teach him, shape him, mold him into an excellent NFL player. But I don't think you need to really reinvent the wheel here and move him to the left side. Even if Trevor Penning does struggle, you got to at some point do something. You have to give him the chance. You have to let him have reps. And on top of that, you could always throw Oli Udoh into the mix, who's also a swing tackle that they brought in free agency. Dr. John! What is that one song? There's an album. There's an artist, Dr. John from Louisiana, really good artist, by the way. He has this part, and he goes, I'm the king of the Zulu, walk on gilded. That's the song, Walk on Gilded Splinters. Great song. Dr. John, back on track. I think that the Saints should trade for Deebo Samuel. Klint Kubiak already knows how to use him. I like it. Shout out producer Seeps for being the best in the game. Here is some numbers on Deebo Samuel. The dude is talented. There's no doubt about it. He's a really good offensive player. He's not just a receiver. He's kind of everything. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. He can honestly throw the ball a little bit as well. And I do think that he is a player that is going to be very highly sought after, but I don't know if the Saints are going to be in the mix just because I think he's going to be a little too expensive for the Saints in order to pay in his contract and also in terms of trade compensation as well. So I would love Deebo Samuel, and honestly, I think that the Saints would have some of the best chances to use him in the best way possible because of his familiarity with Kubiak, but I just think that this is kind of an unlikely scenario. But if you guys want him in the comment section, let me know what you think. I'm curious as to what y'all's thoughts are. And on top of that, I want to beat our record today. When I'm filming this on our live show, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time, it is May 1st. This video will be going out in a couple of days, but we already picked up 14 subs in the first day. So I'm trying to beat my number of 908 from last year in May. So help me put that number to rest, and let's get over 1,000 subs this month. And you can help me get a head start on that by subscribing today for free Saints videos, news, rumors, content, all interactive, all 100% free. All right, Glenn, who is your favorite UDFA signing? Okay, selfishly, Trajan Jeffcoat. Woo, MF Pig, baby. I'm an Arkansas grad, and I'm damn proud of it. He's also a good football player. 6'4", 266 pounds, played at Missouri, played at Arkansas, and he does fit the prototype at defensive end. And in terms of his stats when he was with Mizzou and when he was playing up in the beautiful city of Fayetteville, Arkansas, pretty solid production. But honestly, the biggest steal, in my opinion, Dallin Holker. I love this player. 64 receptions, 767 yards, 6 touchdowns for the Rams last year. He really broke out last season. He spent some time with BYU as well. And honestly, one of the more notable clips from him, one, a ton of really good catches, and two, there was a clip from him at the scouting combine where he's running the gauntlet drill. He caught a ball in one hand and caught a ball from another drill from another hand. He was rolling around with 2 balls. And if you're running around with 2 balls, it's probably a pretty good thing. So giggity. And next question. LZ21. Assuming this is Dennis Allen's last season, should we go for an offensive-minded head coach who calls the plays like Bobby Slowik, Ben Johnson, or bring back Joe Brady, Frank Smith in Miami, Carolina. I mean, I don't think it's safe to assume this is Dennis Allen's last season. Hot take. What if this team wins 11 games in the regular season and wins the division? Even if they don't win a playoff game, you made it back to the playoffs. They're not going to fire Dennis Allen for that. Like, I don't think that we can all, as Saints fans, just sit here and be like, yeah, let's just assume he's gone. Like, he's not going to be here next year. Like, the Saints play well, and they have a good roster. Dennis Allen could be around for a little bit. Like, and on top of that, say the Derek Carr experiment does end, but then Spencer Rattler's really good. Like, you know, like, I just don't see a world that it's guaranteed that Dennis Allen loses his job this year. I'm not rooting for him to lose his job because I don't want the Saints to be terrible. Like, I'm just not a fan who's going to root for my team to lose. I think that that's honestly shitty, and I think that it's what fake fans do and what fair weather fans do. I don't care if you hate the players. I don't care if you hate the coaches. If you root for your team to lose, you're a jackass. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not calling you guys jackass, but I just think it's like idiotic behavior. But offensive minds, I would love a Ben Johnson, a Bobby Slowik, Gerard Johnson. One of those guys would be really, really good options in my personal opinion. But again, I just don't know that Dennis Allen's going to get fired this year. Again, if you guys are mad that I said jackass or called somebody a jackass, like, get over it. I'm sorry. I'm just not ever going to root for my team to lose. But I am going to root for them to win, and I'm going to root for them in a Saints jersey. And you can go get a jersey for any of our rookies or any of the current players. Go to chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. Now, the 00s are just placeholder numbers. So once Spencer Rattler and Kool-Aid McKinstry, Taliese Fuaga, all of our brand new draft picks in New Orleans, once they pick the numbers, they'll have the jerseys with the updated number, and they'll mail you that one. But if you want to go ahead and pre-order yours and get yours today, chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. You can get men's, women's, color rush, home, away, whatever. We got you covered. Link is in the comment section description of this video. Oh, my God. Okay, Falcons. So, great picture, great name. Honestly, even better question. What's better, the Saints having a great draft or the Falcons having a terrible one? Well, I did see, I can't remember who posted it. I did see on social media a graphic that was posted. It was like grading like each of the NFL teams like draft and whatnot, like just as a whole. And they had the New Orleans Saints very high up there. A lot of draft experts are giving them an A grade. I gave them an A- grade, or like an A minus. Like I gave them a really good grade. I think the Saints absolutely killed this draft. And they actually, on that graphic, had the Falcons having the worst draft in the NFL. And I think we can all sit here and agree the Michael Penix pick was extremely confusing. And it's not because he's a bad player. I want to make that very clear here. I think Michael Penix is a good football player. But you just paid Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed, up to $180 million. He's on a 4-year contract. So when Michael Penix is damn near 30, he could be your starting quarterback in Atlanta. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. I love the Rukaroro move. I love Braylon Trice. I think he's a good player. Brandon Dorlus, they doubled up on the defensive interior, and they really focused on defense. J.D. Bertrand, I think, is a good pick. Jace McClellan, a solid running back, but we'll see how they use him in Atlanta. We all know that the Falcons coaches don't know how to use their offensive weapons, so not too concerned there. But Zion Logue, I think, is also a sneaky good pick. Let's go to Jeremy Gates here. With 6 quarterbacks on the roster, including Taysom Hill. Okay, Taysom Hill's not a quarterback. He is a football player. I'm going to make that very clear here. How do you see the camp battle shaking out? So first things first, Taysom Hill, not going to be a quarterback. He is a just football player. He catches the ball, he throws the ball, he runs the ball. He does all of them. He also plays defense. He also plays special teams. He does everything. Taysom Hill is not a quarterback. The Saints do not view him as a quarterback. And if you view him as a quarterback, I'm here to break your heart and tell you he is a football player. He should be in the role of just being a football player. Do everything. Be good at everything. Don't do one thing and be okay. How do you see the training camp battle shaking out? Derek Carr will be your QB1. There's no doubt about it. I actually think that Rattler will win the QB2 battle. And then I think that Kellen Mond doesn't make the final roster. Nathan Peterman, he is a smart player and has played with Carr in the past, so maybe they look to keep him as a practice squad quarterback. But I think that it's going to be Carr, Rattler, Haener as QB 1, 2, and 3. I would love for Haener to prove me wrong. I'd love for him to go and just be an absolute dog, but you guys asked the question, so I gave you the answer. All right, Dylan Erickson, what's one ideal trade the Saints could do before the season starts? I'm not even thinking about it. Trey Hendrickson. Bring him back. He's going to be expensive. He's going to cost you a lot to get in a trade. He's going to cost you a lot to pay. But give me Trey Hendrickson. You should have never let him leave in the first place. I don't want to go trade for safety. Maybe an offensive lineman. A Garrett Bowles could be interesting. I think that the Browns have a couple interior offensive linemen in Joel Bitonio and Nick Benito, I believe. Those could be guys that maybe they get traded. Those are options. But my number one, give me Trey Hendrickson. Bring him back to the boot. And, dude, that defensive line would be horrifying. I mean, your top 4 defensive ends are Chase Young, Cam Jordan, Trey Hendrickson, and Carl Granderson. That's freaking disgustingly horrifying. Like, oh my God, that'd be crazy. Avery Love, next question. Do you see Bub Means as the Saints' Deebo Samuel? I actually haven't thought about it like that, but I like that. Okay, I haven't really thought about it like that. See, because I think that Bub Means, in terms of the size and athletic profile that he has, it's very comparable, to Michael Thomas. I'm not saying he is Michael Thomas' replacement, but I'm saying that he is a person to talk about who can fill that role. But seeing him as Deebo Samuel, a versatile player that's thick, that's hard to tackle, that's physical, athletic, like, I don't hate that idea. Maybe Kubiak gets in his bag with Bub Means. That would be pretty cool. Also, great name, by the way. Great football name, especially in New Orleans. Bub Means, come on. It's freaking awesome. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for our mailbag today. If you want to give me a follow on social media, one more time, it's at Trace Girouard 48 on Twitter, and it's at Trace Girouard 48 _ on Instagram. The links are in the comment section description of this video. If you do give me a follow, send me a DM and let me know you came from this video, so that way I can show you a little bit of extra appreciation. But Saints fans, y'all stay golden. I'm actually in Mexico when this video is out, so happy Cinco de Mayo, and we'll see you when I get back in the States. Y'all stay golden.